All right, we're here with another Fit Boss episode with Chef Sean.
Yes, sir. We are
Chicken
yakitori.
Yeah.
All right. So it's it's in Japan they have a lot of, it's called a robata grill, right?
Okay.
And it's just a little thin grill that uses really high-end charcoal.
Okay.
Right. But we can produce that. We can replicate that on the Pit Boss.
Heck
right.
yeah.
With the Pit Boss pellets, they are so good quality. They're naturally compressed. There's no fillers. Right. So we can get a really high, good heat coming off of it. So we're gonna do a yakitori without you doing it the traditional way. So we're going to do a couple things, and we're also going to keep this super healthy. So we're going to use coconut aminos instead of soy sauce.
Like it.
Right? Soy sauce can have some crazier effects on your body, kind of brings you down. And then we're using avocado oil, which is a little bit cleaner oil to use than like an olive oil, a little bit better, healthier fat. And then to sweeten it up, we're going to use some medjool dates.
All right.
Right? So we don't have to use any sugar, no honey, no processed sweeteners.
Gotcha.
Right? Everything here that we're sweetening with is coming straight off a plant, right? Cool. Some ginger, some garlic, scallions, and then we're going to do some grilled bok choy, which most of the time you would see steamed bok choy, but let's get a little bit of smokiness on it, right? Let's get a little smoky, a little bit of char. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to have you start cutting the chicken. Let's do it in like 1-inch squares.
1-inch squares.
Something like that.
Okay.
We're going to skewer these guys up, and we're going to skewer them up with some scallions as well. So it'll be chicken scallion. So while you do that, I'm going to go ahead and start talking through making our sauce, our yakitori sauce.
Okay.
So we're going to use our coconut aminos, which is similar to, like I said, a soy sauce. A little bit sweeter, but you still get that salty salinity that you know and love from soy sauce, right? So soy sauce is a very unique flavor.
Just tasted it right before we started. It was really good, actually.
Really good. So it's probably aged. I'm sure that this is aged. So they probably aged it in a similar barrel to soy sauce, and that's what's going to kind of give you that soy sauce reminiscence, right? So, all right, we'll move on. We're going to use a little bit of mirin, and mirin is a sweet rice wine. Really good for, again, adding a little bit of sweetness, but also a little bit of acidity, a litit bit of that kind of almost citrusiness without using citrus. So we're going to use a little bit of rice wine vinegar. Again, a little bit more acidity. We'll throw our medjool dates in there. We're going to use some ginger. I'm not even going to take the skin off this ginger just because when you're using a microplane, it kind of pushes the skin away on its own, right? So we're just going to do this ginger right here, probably about, say, a tablespoon of ginger. So a 1-inch knob of ginger. We'll get that right in. So kind of Asian flavors, but doing it in a kind of a
healthier, less processed way, I guess.
And I mean, for you, that's got to be good for the workout routine.
Yeah. We talked a little bit, notoriously, my diet's never been the greatest, but trying to clean it up a little bit and get a little bit better. So
I have been told that you have the metabolism.
Well, we work out a lot, so that helps, I guess, with the metabolism. But I am almost 34, so it'll slow down.
34?
34.
Jeez, I'm almost 40.
Are you?
Yeah, I turned 39 next month.
There you go.
So we're going to use a little bit of cornstarch. You could also use tapioca starch, and this is really just as a thickening agent. I should make a little slurry, but since I'm doing it in a little bit of a food processor, a little Ninja processor, we don't really need to make that cornstarch slurry. And a slurry, when I say that,
I was about to say, what's slurry?
Slurry is just mixing cornstarch and water together. Because if you
put,
let's say we were making like a red wine sauce, right? And you wanted to thicken the red wine sauce a little bit. Yeah. You don't want to put your cornstarch directly into the sauce because it will start to clump. Right? So you make a little slurry with water, and then that will help you to thicken it up a little bit. You don't have to use cornstarch. You don't have to make a slurry. I mean, if you do it the right steps, it's kind of cheap, to be honest with you. All right, so I'm going to get this guy on our blender over here, and I think that should be enough to get us going. Yeah, for sure. All right, so now we have our yakitori sauce. I'm going to have a little taste of that guy.
Well, I should probably wash my hands.
Oh yeah, after the raw chicken. Yeah, let's do that. Ooh, that's good. Wow, dude, those coconut aminos completely change it from like that standard soy sauce
to a little bit
that you'd be used to. A little bit sweeter, but still that.
Oh, that's good.
Right? It's still got that nice yakitori Asian kind of feel. All right, so we'll set this aside. We'll put this in our bowl right here.
Rinse that out. Do we need it for anything else?
I don't think so. I think we'll be good on that.
Cool.
So, we're gonna move and I'm just actually gonna pull these guys apart.
Cool.
And we're gonna grill them whole so they don't start falling through.
Gotcha. Yep.
And then what we'll do is we'll kind of chop them up after we're done cooking it. So
So you talked about usually you would steam these, but we're gonna.
Yeah, I mean
they got a little bit of water on them, so they're steam, right?
Yeah, they will steam a little bit on the grill. So it is more of a steamed product, but.
Yeah.
You know, that's the fun thing about using a grill like Pit Boss is it's so
Versatile,
easy to use, so
Heck yeah.
versatile to use that you can kind of get in. And technology has helped us in every aspect of life. It was only a matter of time before grills started implementing it. And Pit Boss is definitely
easy.
ahead of the game.
Awesome. Yep.
All right, so we've got this. We're just going to take our scallions,
Okay.
and we're just going to use the white parts
Just
for
the
the
whites,
time
all right.
being. We'll garnish with the green later. So we're just going to do something like that. You want to get moving
Sure.
on that?
Yep,
And
yep.
you can set our greens right here. And then I will start getting our skewers going. So generally I would soak these for a little while just
Okay.
so you don't get flare-ups.
Yep.
I mean, we're going to be out there watching it,
Okay.
right? So
We'll
we're
say
not
what's a
gonna be,
flare up, but I think I understand.
yeah, flare up. So, well, what happens is the ends will start to catch on fire,
Gotcha,
right?
okay.
And it's not really a flare up. I guess it's the skewer catching on fire. So we will not soak those today, but at home, soak your skewers. It will definitely, you don't want it catching on fire, which will end up burning the chicken and so on. So I will go ahead and start skewering these guys up. We're gonna do a couple pieces of chicken, followed by one of the scallions. This is actually a good size for this chicken. This would be nice. And then we'll put one of our scallions down just
Didn't
straight
screw
down
it
the
up too
middle.
bad.
No, this is great. This is perfect. They told me you didn't have any knife skills, but I don't think they were telling me the truth. Doing all right over there. No, they said
I know how to dull a knife.
They
that's for
said
sure.
it's insane how well you adapt to
Oh, all right,
every
there we go.
situation
Good,
that you
good.
put in. Is honestly what they told me, and I'm like, all right, cool. So yeah, so you see we've got 3 pieces of chicken, scallion, 3 pieces of chicken, scallion, and this is super easy. This is something you get done with a workout. This is going to take you 20 minutes
Yeah,
to
if
fix
that.
up from start to finish. So all right, so we are good
I got
here.
one scallion on this.
Yeah, that works. Little topper there.
There we go.
So we are good here. Let's move these guys to the side.
Okay.
We've got our bok choy prepped. We've got our sauce prepped up. So yeah, now it's time to move out onto the grill and start cooking. So we're gonna use our sauce to baste, and then we're gonna use a little bit up to the end to use as like a dipping sauce as well. Cool, let's get to the grill.
Awesome.
We got our chicken yakitori. We went ahead and cut the chicken down. We
Yep.
skewered it up with the scallions. We're gonna do some grilled bok choy, which is a little different preparation than
Okay.
people usually use for bok choy. And then we have our nice sauce that we use coconut
Delicious.
aminos for. Yeah, get rid of that soy sauce, get
Yep.
rid of all that unhealthy things that slow you down, and really kind of use this as an energy booster,
Yep.
right? So let's give
Set it
you
over
that. Yeah, you can set that over there, and then let's get our chicken grilling. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna get our bok choy
Bok
on
choy.
first. And what I want to do, since our heat's here,
Yep.
I'm gonna put the stems towards the heat, yeah,
okay.
and then leave the greens away, right? So
Okay,
they
don't
still
wilt
get cooked.
and kinda,
They'll wilt a little bit,
Yeah.
but it would just kind of save them from the direct heat,
Gotcha.
right? So we'll get all these guys on right here. And bok choy is great in salads too, but if you got to finely cut it, right?
Yeah.
You got to get really finely
Thin,
slices.
yeah.
But people just kind of use it as a steamed ingredient all the time. That's good. We'll go with that. Now let's move on to our chicken. There we go. Let's go. Yeah, let's go right here in the middle.
Okay.
We'll go slide them to the backs, and then we'll put the other two. Yeah, we'll just move them around as we need to.
Okay.
So, one thing that I was always taught coming up, let your chicken cook on one side so you don't have to use 2 basting brushes,
Gotcha.
right? So, I see this all the time. I see people put their chicken on and immediately start basting.
Okay.
You're kind of eliminating
yeah.
all, food safety at
Gotcha.
that point, right? Chicken is one of those things.
What's the difference in basting versus marinating? Why
Basting,
would you do that?
it's more of a, it doesn't get into the meat as well.
Like a sauce or a
but
topping almost.
Kind of, sort of. I like basting a little bit more than marinating, just
Okay.
because you get that final flavor.
Yeah.
You have more sauce on there that kind of gets that heat, that char.
Okay.
But it's also, what are you using too,
Right.
right? So if you marinate chicken, it changes texture.
Right.
Right. So and
Okay.
that's
A
with a
little bit more
lot of
rubbery,
different
yeah.
meats,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So whenever you're going to marinate, you're going to have to assume that you're going to change the texture a little bit,
Gotcha.
right? So
Okay.
I just like to do a
Cool.
base. Same thing. I get asked what kind of spices I like all the time, and
Yeah.
people are always shocked that I use mainly salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper, fresh herbs is the way that I go. Definitely working in some of these Pit Boss spices because they're super fresh,
Yeah.
right? They've done a good job at kind of creating that fresh
Simple
feel
too, yeah.
in a spice, right? So, but I'm really a salt and pepper guy. I'm a basting guy instead of marinating or injecting.
Gotcha.
So cool. Well, let's cook these guys up. They're gonna go pretty fast, right? So,
Yep.
actually, let's open the heat shield.
I was gonna say, you want to throw the fire on it?
Yeah, let's get some flame on those guys. Now that the heat shield's open, these guys are gonna start moving pretty fast. All right, so we got a little bit of a cook on there. So we'll give them a flip. Got a little char, not too much yet, but I want to get everything down, right?
Yep.
So we can start heating everything. And we'll let that cook a little more.
Cool.
And I will close it too.
Close it a little bit?
Yeah. All right, we're good. Let's start basting. So let's give these guys a little spin again. All right, yeah, that's good. We've got enough heat on them now that you can, the safety zone, we're past the safety zone, right? So we can start basting these guys up.
Okay.
All right, if you want to do that.
All right, so that really
Just pretty heavy, man.
Pretty
like,
heavy?
Yeah, get a nice coating on those guys. Just make sure you save enough for the other side.
Yeah.
So generally in yakitori, it's called a tare sauce.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit thinner, not quite as flavorful as this one.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the traditional go-to sauce. So I changed it up a little bit for you
Yeah.
guys. I wanted
Sounds
to
delicious.
give it a little bit more of a kick in the butt. You
Heck
know?
yeah.
So.
Give it a little bit more flavor.
Yep. Yeah. So with bok choy, you still want a little bit of crisp, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to cook it like we're cooking
You
the
don't want to
greens.
make it soggy
You don't
or-
want it to be soggy. Obviously, the green part is going to get
Yeah.
and on this it got a little crispy, so we'll have
Okay,
like a
nice.
bok choy
Yeah.
chip almost. And we didn't do a lot to this because there's so much flavor on this guy.
don't want
What
to
we'll do
over-
is we'll chop it down a little bit
Okay.
and we'll just kind of plate the chicken right on top of that.
Cool.
But let's get this guy off. So we are done with our chicken. Let's go ahead and get these guys off here. Got some nice little crispiness. That looks good. Oh, that's the best part right there.
Oh yeah. Chicken thighs are always you want those. I always like them a little bit more done. I don't know why.
Yeah. Chicken thighs, you can cook a little bit longer. You can get a little bit more room on them because there is a lot of intermuscular fat in there, so they're not going to dry out as quickly as a chicken breast would.
Right.
But again, you do have a little bit more fat in there, so be cautious of that if you're watching calories, watching fat intake, all that kind of stuff. Bok choy was easy. We just threw it on, cooked it.
Made it a little tender, you
Made
said?
it a little tender, got a little char on it, get some crispy little bits on there. So we're pretty much done. We can go inside and snack down on this
do it.
stuff. Yeah, let's do it.